The rider most likely to be killed on a motorcycle today probably isn't who you're picturing. For decades, the answer was obvious. Young guy, fast bike, doing something dumb. And back in 1975, riders under 30 really were about 8 in 10 motorcycle deaths. But that picture has flipped hard. Today, riders under 30 are about a third of the deaths, and riders over 50 jumped from 3% to 31%. That's from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Now, a big chunk of that is just math. But buried inside that shift is a specific way experienced riders keep dying, on quiet roads in ordinary corners, often with no other vehicle involved at all. And there's one unglamorous habit that gives you more time and more options in exactly that moment. It's basically free, almost nobody drills it, and you can't even see it. Here's how it works, and how to build it. So here's the myth worth killing first. Ask a new rider what scares them, and you'll hear the same nightmare. A car turning left across their path. The driver who swears he never saw the bike. And that fear is completely fair, because that crash is real, it's common, and it kills people every year. The Hurt Report, the big American study from the late 1970s, found roughly 3/4 of motorcycle crashes involved another vehicle, and the classic one was exactly that, a car turning left in front of an oncoming rider. But that same study found something else. About 1/4 of crashes involved no other vehicle at all, just the rider and the road. And in those solo crashes, rider error was the trigger about 2/3 of the time. The typical version, in the report's own words, was overbraking and sliding out, or running wide on a curve from too much speed or not enough steering input. Now that study is a Los Angeles sample from nearly 50 years ago, so don't treat it as gospel about today. But the pattern keeps showing up. Europe's big MAIDS study looked at 921 crashes across 5 countries and found rider error was the main contributing factor in about 37% of them. And Britain's Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents says single vehicle crashes on bends are more likely to be the rider's fault, usually because they came in too fast or misread the curve. Not always. Bad surface, gravel, a deceptively tightening road, those matter too. But more often than not, on a bend, the deciding factor is the person on the bike. So the left-turning car is still out there, and you should absolutely respect it. But there's a second danger that gets far less attention, and it's the one you have the most control over. Losing the front or running wide in a corner nobody forced you into. Which raises the real question. If these are skilled riders on roads they know, what actually goes wrong in that bend? Here's a chain of events that shows up again and again. You come into a corner a little hotter than you meant to. Maybe it tightens more than you expected. Maybe you were enjoying the road and your attention drifted. Your brain runs a fast calculation and decides you're not going to make it. And right there, panic takes over, and a lot of what panic tells you to do only makes things worse. Keith Code, the racing coach who trained thousands of riders and wrote A Twist of the Wrist, surveyed more than 8,000 riders to map what the brain does in that moment. He found a whole cluster of automatic reactions, and most of them hurt you in a corner. Your eyes lock onto the thing you're scared of, the guardrail, the oncoming lane, the tree, you chop the throttle, you tense up on the bars, and you stab at the brakes. The eyes are the big one. Riders tend to steer toward whatever they're staring at. It isn't literally magic, your hands are making tiny inputs you don't even notice, but the effect is very real, and it has a name. Target fixation. Lock your gaze on that tree and you drift right toward it. Then the panic braking piles on. Grab a big handful of front brake while you're leaned over, and the weight lurches forward. The bike tends to stand up out of its lean, and a bike that stood up is turning on a wider radius. So instead of tightening around the curve, you run wide. Wide in a corner means the far lane, the gravel, or whatever's waiting past the edge of the road. The Hurt report put it starkly. In real crashes, riders' ability to steer and swerve out of trouble was, in its words, essentially absent. Some steered straight into the thing they were trying to miss, and the typical crash gave them less than 2 seconds to do everything. See it, decide, act. 2 seconds. Your years, your mileage, your expensive bike, none of it helps if your body spends those 2 seconds doing the wrong thing on autopilot. So that's the trap. Now here's how you stay out of it. And the fix is quieter than you'd think. The habit at its core is about protecting your margin, keeping enough room, enough speed in reserve, and enough vision that a surprise in the corner still has an answer. And it starts with 2 things: where you look and the speed you carry in. Take the eyes first. Instead of fixating on the hazard, you put your main focus on the escape path, the line through the corner you actually want to take, and you keep the hazard in the corner of your eye. You don't ignore the tree, you just refuse to send your steering to it. Every training body teaches some version of this: the Motorcycle Safety Foundation in the States, the advanced groups in the UK. Look where you want to go, not at what you're afraid of. Then the speed, and this is the part experienced riders get lazy about. The best time to lose speed is on the approach, while you're upright and the tires have grip to spare. Get most of your slowing done early, and you arrive at the bend already at a pace you can carry through it. That alone prevents a huge share of these crashes, because you never reach the panic moment in the first place. The writer and writer Nick IIHS made this case in a well-known essay called The Pace. Ride a public road with enough margin to see, decide, and react, and let the right corner speed take care of itself. But here's where I have to correct a really common myth, because getting this one wrong can genuinely hurt you. You'll hear riders say, "Never touch the brakes once you're leaned over." That's not right, and every major riding school has moved away from it. Smooth, gentle braking while you're leaned is a real skill. It's called trail braking, and it's exactly what saves you when a corner tightens unexpectedly or a hazard appears mid-bend. The rule isn't no brakes. The rule is no sudden grabbing. Think of your tire's grip as a budget. The more of it you're spending on lean, the less is left for braking. So you trade smoothly, easing off the brake as you add lean, and squeezing it back on gently as you stand the bike up. Panic grabbing blows the whole budget at once and loses the front. Trailing the brake in gently spends it carefully. That smoothness is the whole game. Same logic on the throttle. A steady, neutral throttle settles the bike and is great through a corner. But actually rolling on, accelerating, widens your line. So if you need to tighten up mid-corner, you ease off a touch and add a little lean. You don't feed it gas and hope. Racers boil the entry idea down to slow in, fast out. It's an old maxim, often linked to the champion Kenny Roberts, though nobody really owns it. On the street, keep the first half. Slow in. The fast out is a racetrack goal, and you are not on a racetrack. So if all of this works, why do so many skilled riders let it slip? 3 reasons, and they're all sneaky. First, it's invisible. Good vision and good margin don't look like anything. You can't film them, you can't brag about them in the car park, and you can't feel yourself getting worse. The skill just fades, and you don't notice it going. Second, it fights your gut, all of it. Almost everything the habit asks for is the opposite of what a scared brain wants. It wants you to stare at the danger, you look at the exit. It wants you to stand the bike up, you hold your lean or even add a little. It wants you to snatch the brake, you stay smooth. Doing the right thing in a scary corner feels wrong every single time, which is why it takes deliberate practice, not just more years in the saddle. And third, the big one. Experienced riders assume they already own this. 30 years on bikes feels like 30 years of skill, but a lot of the time it's really 1 year of riding repeated 30 times. Same roads, same pace, same relaxed autopilot. That's familiarity, not skill. And the two feel identical right up until a corner does something you didn't expect. It's sharper for returning riders. The person who rode in their 20s, took 20 years off for the mortgage and the kids, and finally bought the bike they always wanted. The whole riding population has aged. The median motorcycle owner in the US was around 50 by 2018, up from the low 30s around 1990. And plenty of those returning riders come back to machines with far stronger brakes, more power, and more weight than whatever they last rode. The confidence comes back the moment they throw a leg over. The fine control, the braking precision, the scanning habits, those come back slower if you rebuild them at all. Quick thing before the how-to. If this is useful, tap subscribe. I dig into the riding skills that actually keep you alive, not the stuff that just looks cool. Okay, so how do you rebuild it? Good news is this rebuilds fast because it's habits, not talent. A few things that genuinely work. Start with your eyes, since everything else follows them. On your next ride, give yourself one job in every corner. Look as far through the bend as you can actually see and keep scanning toward that point. Advanced road trainers call it the vanishing point or the limit point, the spot where the two edges of the road appear to meet. Watch how it moves. If it slides away from you, the bend is opening and you've got room. If it sits still or creeps back toward you, the corner is tightening, or you're carrying too much speed, so ease off. And drop the idea that if you can't see the exit, you must be going too fast. Plenty of perfectly safe bends are blind. The real rule is simpler. Ride at a speed where you could stop, or at least respond, within the distance you can see to be clear. On a blind corner, that just means leaving yourself a bigger cushion, not refusing to ride it. Next, get the bulk of your braking done on the approach while you're upright so you tip in at a speed you're actually happy with. But keep the brakes live. If the bend surprises you, trail the brake in smoothly, don't grab it. Then go make friends with countersteering in an empty car park. Above walking pace, you turn by pushing the bar forward on the side you want to go. Push left, go left. Most experienced riders already do this without realizing it, which is the problem because in a panic they don't trust it. Practice until pushing to add lean feels natural. If you're running wide, a firmer push to tighten your line is usually your best move, as long as you've still got grip and ground clearance to use. Your eyes and your countersteering working together are the actual way out. Now, a fair word on training courses because someone's already typing take an advanced course. Take one, seriously. Coaching on your vision and your braking is some of the best money you'll spend. But be honest about the limits. When the Cochrane Review looked at the research on rider training, it couldn't show that training reliably lowers crash rates, and a randomized trial of newly licensed riders in Australia found that extra coaching didn't cut crashes at all. That's not because training is useless. It's that some riders take the new confidence and spend it on more speed and hand the safety right back. The course gives you the tools. Drilling them on quiet roads until they're automatic is what actually protects you. So think back to that shift we opened with. More experienced riders, more older riders, more of them going down in corners on roads they know cold. When one of them crashes, it's rarely one clean mistake. Usually it's a chain, a bit too much entry speed, eyes that locked on the hazard, a panicked grab at the brake, and suddenly there's no room left to fix any of it. Break one link early though, and the whole chain tends to fall apart. That's the real habit, and it's bigger than one glance. Protecting your margin, seeing further through the bend, setting a speed that leaves you options, and keeping smooth inputs ready for the moment the road changes its mind. And here's the uncomfortable part. The riders who need this most are usually the ones most certain they already have it. So next time you're out, don't just ask where your eyes are. Ask whether your speed and your inputs still leave you somewhere safe to go. If the honest answer is not really, you just found the thing worth practicing. And if you want to understand why so many of these crashes happen on the exact roads riders know best of all, that's the one to watch next.